this is the magical lifestyle of the cottage witch. I gotta get used to saying that anyway, but on this channel, we talk about all things cottage witchery, and part of my cottage witchery is planning. And I have lots of planners for various reasons and for different things. So this is what this video is going to be about. So I started a Book of Shadows planner, and in that Book of Shadows planner, I sort of use it willy-nilly. Essentially, I want to use it as something where I'm marking kind of like a commonplace notebook, except with a twist. I'm using a happy planner, and I'd like to make it more date specific in the way that this is what I'm working on this month or even this year. I don't adhere so much to the days of the week on the calendar. Or the weekly pages. It's more about, around about that time I was looking up into this and I wanted to record the information and make a fun page for it. So I'm going to do that today, so you'll get to see that. And the whole point of this is just for me and my personal records to have this catalog. So I have been using various herbs and sort of stockpiling and building my own herbal apothecary. One of those herbs are burdock root, and I have just been on a mission to understand it, and I wanted to record that information. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that video now, and you'll see how I set it up on my page and what it looks like. And this is sort of a big deal for me, because I think like almost a month went by and I haven't done anything with this planner. It's been weeks at minimum, really most of my planners. And as with anything I have learned in my practice, and this is my goals planner, it's the daily grind. I really love this planner and love the cover it comes with, and more to come about this one. But what I wanted to talk about just a little bit briefly is the fact that I have noticed that sometimes the reason I'm not using my planners or really doing anything, crafting, painting, whatever it is, like I would normally do, it's because it's usually a symptom of a bigger issue. So as a practicing witch, I can learn ways to put the Band-Aid on the problem, especially as a cottage witch. But I like to get to the bottom of it because for the most part, I'm also a practical minded witch. So I need to get to the root. I'm going to work on the symptom, but I got to understand where this is coming from. And in my case, I know exactly where it was coming from. Imposter syndrome, remnants of trauma and things like that. So it actually was rooted in a much deeper meaning on why I wasn't doing the thing that I enjoy. And the thing that literally keeps me sane in my practice or just as a person is writing things down, making lists, knowing when the moon is going to be full, knowing when it's waxing, waning. Yeah, I can look at my phone, but I like having a place because I like to set up events and rituals and things of that nature as well. I like to do certain things in my home around certain phases of the moon or at a certain high holiday. So I need to keep track of those things. So the planning really does come into my practice. So let me go ahead and show you a little bit of my Book of Shadows planning process and what that looks like. This is my Book of Shadows planner that I use. It is a happy planner. And it just goes up to December. But I have this planner set up. Oh, I realize I need to clip something here. Anyway, but I have this planner set up already for May because, at some point I was on it and I planned ahead. This is how out of the loop I've been. So anyway, I don't always decorate this page, and apparently I didn't for this month, but this is May. This is May. And I just set it up in like a fairy type thing, a very Beltane, fertility, goddess energy, that sort of stuff. So that's what's happening here. Usually I write in like holidays and things like that. Fun holidays, all sorts of stuff like that on a monthly, birthdays, whatever. So I kind of just left it, and I think my intention was to come back. I have a page, this is on my other channel, Leap Taken, where I talked about this particular spell here. It's a Beltane Vigor and Youth mini ritual. But the thing about this book is it's not about what I did this week. It's more about just kind of just comprising of all the things that I've come across, like right now, herbal remedies, or just, the study of herbology. I've been adding it here, any kind of ritual spell, something I saw in a book. And I've just been adding it as sort of like a Book of Shadows planner, because that's what I did this year, this month. So that's sort of how I'm approaching it. So this time we're going to be talking about, not we, but I'm going to be putting information here about burdock root. So I have a large amount of burdock root, dried burdock root for teas or whatever I'm going to do with it. And I thought, hey, I should add this to my book because I've been making a point to, or I'm making a point to document the things that I learned. So yeah, I have my different grimoires and Book of Shadows, but I also have this neat source where I knew in 2024, I was working on a lot of herbal type magical working. I was doing a lot of blends and teas, and I want to find that one thing. I can look here in this book, and this is like a no pressure book, so I don't concern myself with working in here, every week, although ideally I would like to, because it is a fun thing just to, write down all the things I've been discovering and all the different magical things that I've come across. That's what this book represents. This picture here, where it looks a little old timey on a study of herbs and things like that. So I definitely wanted to include this in here as well. Start with this. This is the basis. So you'll see here, I'm going to go ahead and just stop talking and get to actually getting things down. And hopefully, this inspires you to start your own Book of Shadows planner. And you just transform it however you want. And it's no pressure on how often you use it. You make the rules. So that's what I remind myself about this, because this is fun working in it. And it's still something I can look back on for this year, because I'm thinking in terms of the overall year of the fun magical stuff that I've discovered or that I've tried or I practiced, and I just wanted to note it. That's where this comes in. Here we go.